Hi everyone, today we'll talk about new patch note in Skull&Bones that changed endgame for good, changed a lot, and now endgame really shines. It was fun before this patch, but after this patch it's even much more fun than it was before. So now it's definitely the time you need to play endgame in Skull&Bones. It's much more fun now than it was previous. So let's dive into patch notes. Year 1, Season 1, 1.3 patch notes. Raging Tides is now in full swing and it's time to bring some additional improvements to the game. With update 1.3 we bring a host of much requested quality of life gameplay improvements and fixes while addressing key issues reported by Skull&Bones community and improving the play experience. And yes, in this patch, a little spoiler, we will have a lot of different quality of life updates, you will see. Highlights. Extension of Season 1. Season 1 is extended by a week and will now last for a total of 13 weeks. And it's a great addition to our season because to our season pass, because in this season pass you have plenty of really nice stuff. For example, like Bark ship that is really powerful, even if you are playing solo. Like different stuff, like for example DMC pieces of fate and DMC coins or gold, how they called in game. It's premium currency. You can buy different skins with, and so really powerful coronates guns you can even utilize in our build. You can find on our channel really powerful builds, and these guns are also really strong for any PvP or PvE battles. And also from Season Pass you can get some really nice stuff, like for example this ship armor called Wailing Ward. So it's really nice that season was extended by 1 week. So now, yeah, it's 13 weeks now, and I'm recording this March 20th, and we still have 68 days remaining, so we have plenty of time to get enough of different rewards, cosmetic rewards, and really, really important rewards that will help you through your journeys in Indian Ocean. Another change is voice and text chat. We re-enabled finally group voice chat and group text chat and world text chat. And it's a really nice addition to the game because previously voice chat and text chat were disabled, and now they're enabled, and now you can not only text with your group but also you can send fast messages, like for example to your open world friends when you're just sailing around the world doing some activities. You can just cooperate with your fellow players selling and playing around you with just these fast messages. It's a really nice addition that really helps you a lot, especially if you are console playing with if you are playing with gamepad. It's a really nice addition. It helps a lot to cooperate in an open world. So yeah, it's definitely one of the best quality of life updates in this game. Another addition is Open World PvP. Players can now opt in for Open World PvP through the Set Sail screen before embarking from Outpost and Dance. How is it working? You just going for sail, and here you have new PvP flag that you can enable or disable. If you enable, all the players you see around with this PvP flag on can attack you, and you can attack them. And see, quite obvious, if you disable this flag, they won't attack you, and no one will attack you except just PvP activities if you are participating in some PvP activities. So it's a really nice addition to the game because, for example, when I'm playing at night, sometimes I simply can't find players to fight with. And not all the time I can find PvP activity currently when I'm playing. So it's a really nice addition. Now you can not only duel with your friends, but also you can just put this PvP flag on and just duel and fight with just random players in the world. It's a wonderful addition. And of course, if you want to be disturbed, you can just simply put this PvP flag off and no one will disturb you. You will just continue play as you're playing. So, turn the PvP flag on to engage in combat with other players that also have the PvP flag on anywhere out at sea, even outside PvP activities, and PvP flag on players and their current kill streak can be identified by a red skull icon beside their profile names. Hitting a group mate also with PvP on will damage them friendly fire, and PvP flag on players are unable to deal damage to players with PvP off and vice versa, except if they are both participating in a common PvP activity like cutthroat, cargo hunt, etc. So yeah, it's really nice that if you don't want to participate in any PvP activities, you can just simply put this flag off and just continue playing as you're playing. It's a wonderful addition to the game. Another thing about PvP is this PvP flag. While players have PvP flag on, they can see all other players with PvP flag on as a red arrow on the map, and ship rank of players is ignored during PvP combat in open world PvP. A wonderful addition, because in PvP, unscaling in PvP is always bad for PvP in general, for gaming and for any PvP battles. It's always bad. So nice addition, really nice. Ubisoft did here really well. Additional PvP changes. Updated matchmaking criteria to account for the last selected PvP flag on-off preference when attempting to match players together. Players that are more inclined to PvP will have a higher likelihood of being matched to the same server and vice versa. When you start the game, as you know, when you start the game, you just match into some random players and now you will find players. You will join players with the same PvP flag on or PvP flag off. So if you don't want to PvP with other players, you won't be in this phase on the server where players with PvP flag on, and if you want to battle other players, you will be connected to the server with PvP flag on mostly. So also really nice addition to matchmaking. Another addition is updated damage metrics for PvP damage and repair, affects all PvP including open world PvP, cutthroat, cargo hunt, and hell major, and added UI feedback for when a player target cannot be repaired by another player. So now you can see different metrics for a player, how you damaging targets if your PvP flag off, and if PvP flag off, in PvP event, not in a PvP event, if PvP flag on in PvP event and not in PvP event, how you can damage other targets, and also how you can repair other targets, and can you repair other players. For example, when you're playing healing ships, also you can repair other players and use your repairing gun. So now you can see how it's working in all the activities and in all different stuff. So again, they made a lot of different quality of life updates, and they really changed these elements of game for good and completely changed. Gameplay updates. Combat. Improved the visual clarity of rocket aiming recycle, and what they're talking about, I will show you. Previously, if you are playing Termites 3, any Termites, by the way, it's a wonderful gun. It's one of the best guns in the game. If you are not using this, why are you waiting? What are you waiting for? Just use it, because it's one of the best guns. If you are hitting crit spots, if you are managed to hit crit spots of your enemy, it will be one of the best guns in the game. So now you can see this big white AoE when you're using your rockets, your Termites. And yeah, previously it was much more transparent. Now you can see this big white AoE that literally helps you to target enemies. It's much easier, especially in the fight. It's even less transparent. It's more white, so you just completely see when you targeting your enemies with this AoE from any rockets and Termites. Currently I'm showing you Termites, one of the best rockets in the game. And if you have some questions why I'm saying that Termites are the best heavy weapon in the game, just please look my build video when I'm describing everything, and check description under this video, because we've got lots of arguing in the comments, and I've answered nowadays I've answered everything in my video. So just check this video and see. I've just gave you all the metrics and different comparison with other guns, with other stuff. So just check it and you will see why it's one of the best, and if not the best heavy gun in the game. Just check and see for yourself. So now let's get back to our patch notes. Also the reduced duration of turn sale effect from Brigantine Bullhorn perk from 80% to 40%. Previously, when you damage your enemy ship with Bullhorn perk from your Brigantine ship, one of the best ships in the game, you added turn sales effect. That reduced duration of turn sales effect by 80%. Now you're reducing only by 40%. Still, Brigantine, one of the best ships in the game. Still, it's ramming enemies. It's doing a lot of damage, and also due to its finishing potential, it's one of the best ships in the game. So really nice ship, really good ship. Now it was good, and it's still really good. One of the best ships in the game. And what's next? Increased duration of turn sales for players to 10 seconds. Now you can play more turn sales builds. Still, it's not something that's really that's something crazy to counter. You still can counter this. Just play more carefully and just press your enemies with, for example, Genkin builds, etc., etc. Increased the slow multiplier of turn sales for players from 0.5 seconds to 0.66 seconds. Again, little buff to turn sales, buff if you're playing turn sales, and debuff if you're playing against turn sales builds. And following gear score changes have been made to make it easier to reach ship rank 12 with a wide variety of builds. Gear score threshold to reach SR12 reduced from 1670 to 1630. Base ship rank points of Padawakan and snow ships increased from 560 to 570. Gear score of common tier 5 weapons increased from 90 to 95. Gear score of uncommon tier 3 weapons increased from 98 to 105. And gear score of rare tier 5 weapons increased from 105 to 110. Gear score of Scarlock's Long 9s Al Ramaha Legacy increased from 110 to 120. Also, really nice guns, especially Scarlock's Long 9s. I'm not using it. I don't think, like, for example, for my build, as we've been discussing in the comments, again, under my build, I don't think that it's something mandatory that you need to use in every build, but still it's one of the best guns in the game, especially if you are playing, if you are putting debuffs on your enemies in PvP. Really nice thing. Gear score of Karanite Blue Specs increased from 120 to 125. And gear score of auxiliary uncommon tier 3 weapons increased from 120 to 125. Gear score of auxiliary rare tier 3 weapons increased from 53 to 55. Gear score of auxiliary epic weapons increased from 55 to 56. But again, as far as I've tested, you can also see in my build video again. I've been describing everything in my in description under that video. Currently, gear score, for example, I've tested gear score 11 and gear score 12 of my ship. I've been damaging same building and same ship, same enemy ship, in PvE modes, of course, pre-patch. And I did the same amount of damage, gear score 11 and gear score 12. So as far as I can see, at least gear score from 11 to 12, there are completely no changes in damage done and damage done to you and damage output from your ship. So as far as I can see, at least gear score 10 plus, there is no changes in damage and your damage reduction and damage done. So personally, I see no reason to raise your gear score. It's something like some sort of thing to flex with, like for example in Breakpoint. In Ghost Recon Breakpoint, another Ubisoft really nice, wonderful game, looter shooter, that currently is much better than famous Destiny with its state. In Breakpoint, the same thing. When you are playing raid, you can raise your gear score to 300, and if you are not playing raid, you can raise your gear score to 252, if I remember correctly, and the difference in your damage from 252 to 300 is completely zero. So as far as I can see, in Skull&Bones, at least I've tested this pre-patch, we do the same amount of damage, at least gear score 11 and gear score 12 of your ship. Maybe now something has changed. I will make additional changes, additional comparisons, and if I see some difference, I will add this information to the comments or into description. So check the description. If I will see difference, I will add information. But currently, I see no difference to raise your gear score higher than rank 11 or 12. Activities and events. Dev notes. Previously, Casual Cargo was one of the few ways players could be exposed to PvP activities, hence it was designed to be accessible PvP game mode. With an open world PvP now available, we're making Casual Cargo fairer by restricting fast and travel and participants after the activity has started. Casual Cargo Hunts. Players now can only opt into the activity during pre-activity countdown period. Players are unable to opt in after the activity has started. What does this mean? Previously, you can join, you can jump into Casual Cargo Hunt when it appears on the map. whenever it's on the map, so not only in preparation phase but also when the activity is already online. So for example, if you are playing with two players, if you are playing against two players, another two players can join during this activity, and just it changed the way you play, because you simply, for example, if you see that you are playing against two players, you understand that you have some chances. But if you are playing against more players than two, and especially if you do not expect such pressure, you simply, in some ways, you can just feel frustrated, and simply just you will lose everything, because it's quite punishing when you do not expect such things, and someone is joining this activity and start pressing you when you're fighting two players, and somewhere from just air two additional players just appear, and you didn't see it coming. They just appear in a second, and you simply just can't understand. You could just miss such a situation because of the frustration, because game just not saying you that additional players join. So now it's a really good change that really will help this activity a lot. And also, participants are now unable to fast travel during the active period of the activity. Also, really nice addition, because sometimes, for example, pre-patch, when you get this legendary treasure map, you got debuff that reduced your stamina, so your ship becomes less, much less fast. It became much slower than other ships, and your enemies simply could just teleport to you, and you just moving like a turtle, and the enemies just simply can fast travel to reach your destination and simply kill you. So you just, in some situations, for example, if you are playing against 5 other players, you simply didn't get any chance in some situations. So now it's a really good addition to this PvP activity. Now you have chance to fight other enemies, and you can analyze just on the preparation phase of this activity how much players you will fight with, and to understand what you will need to do, and to make some sort of strategy to fight with them. Now it's much more fair. And target outpost destination can only be viewed by participants. Also, really nice addition. So other players do not mess with you and do not stop you from completing this activity, because sometimes you can find players who just simply will block your. Sometimes you can find players who will just simply block outposts. So you cannot reach this outpost to finish this activity. Sometimes, really seldom, but you could find such players that for no reason just simply sitting there and stopping you from completing this activity. And also, they removed speed debuff for cutthroat cargo carrier. It's a really nice addition, because sometimes, for example, if you are playing with slow ships, sometimes you simply couldn't carry this legendary treasure map, because simply your enemies were moving much faster than you, and they simply destroy your ship before you just get to this location, because they could teleport, they could join the game during the fight, any time of this activity, and also you were moving like you were moving really slow. So now you have much more chances, and this PvP cutthroat cargo hunt are much fair now, or much fairer now. And also about cutthroat cargo hunt, really important thing about this activity. I've been playing this activity something like 2 days ago, and it's funny thing that maybe because I already have this armor unlocked, but I already bought Black Prince from the helm, but also somehow from just simply completing cutthroat cargo hunt, I got additional Black Prince. Maybe it's because I already unlocked Black Prince, but still it's really nice loot. So if you want to get nice strong loot, one of the best loots in the game, just for free, simply play PvP activities. They're not difficult, simply just participate it, and you will get really nice stuff as a reward. So do not miss on these PvP activities. Helm Wager removed speed debuff for Helm Wager Carrier. Again, really nice addition. Same like with Cutthroat Cargo Hunt. Legendary Heist increased chances of legendary heist opportunity spawning. Already I've been playing for something like 7 or 8 hours after this patch. Yes, they increased. I can participate legendary high, something like 2 or 3 times in 7 or 8 hours now, and previously I can participate only, for example, 1 or 2 in 20 hours. It was some sort of strange, because why it's such a rare activity, because it's one of the best activities. It's a very strong alternative if you do not want to play PvP, but you want to get these pieces of aids fast enough and to get strong loot without playing PvP. So it's a really nice addition to all PvE players who do not want to participate in PvP. Also, manufacturing that is rewarded after successful legendary heist is no longer restricted to the region where the heist takes place. However, only manufacturers from unlocked regions will be awarded. What does this mean? What does this mean? You have several regions. In your end game, it's Coast of Africa, it's Red Isle, it's East Indies, and you need to unlock every region to get these manufacturers that's giving you these pieces of weight and game currency just passively. So you just revisiting the game, and passively these manufacturers generating these pieces of weight currency for you. So now if you unlocked, for example, Coast of Africa, but you do not have any manufacturers, but you play, for example, legendary heist in this region in Red Isle, you will also get manufacturers for free from legendary heist in the region you've unlocked. So you do not need to capture all the manufacturers in this region to get to capture any manufacturers in this region. You just need to unlock it for 5,000 pieces of weight to get from legendary heist. Even if legendary heist is it takes place in Red Isle region, you still, if you unlocked Coast of Africa, for example, or East Indies, you will get a manufacturer from the region you've unlocked. So again, really nice addition to PvE players who do not want to play PvP but want to participate in endgame. Also, the reduced damage dealt by explosive minions, ships of La Peste and La Peste himself. Yesterday I've played 3 times La Peste. Honestly, I didn't see this change, but if it's true, it's a really nice change. But yesterday I saw, for example, players gear score 12 with Black Prince armor. They died from one shot from La Peste minions, explosive minions. So honestly, I saw no change in it. At least for me, everything's the same. I see no changes, but maybe it's changed. Maybe I need to make additional comparisons, but additional checks, but at least for now I didn't see any changes. And also they added recommended ship rank and recommended number of players to the map panels for high difficulty activities and events. And now one of the best, it's some sort of controversial, but I will understand you why it's why it was a good change. The helm change. Opportunities will continue to be generated for players that have owned all manufacturers, and increased foundation duration and storage space. And you can think, some of you can think and can say that it's a nerf to the whole manufacturing system, but why it's a buff? It's not a buff, but it's a very big quality of life improvements. Because previously you had to visit every single manufacturer every 2 hours to get, for example, if you were level 1 or level 2 manufacturer, you got something like 40 or 60 pieces of aids, and you needed to visit every single manufacturer every 2 hours to get all pieces of aids on level 1 and level 2. But now they increased the time. They reduced the speed of producing pieces of aid, so now you can collect. You can visit game much less times, not every 2 hours, but for example every 5 or 6 hours to get all your pieces of aid. Because if your manufacturer is full, if pieces of aid is produced and your storage is full on this manufacturer, pieces of aid are not produced anymore on this manufacturer. So you need every time to visit the game and collect all pieces of aid. So now you can visit game much less time. times, not every 2 hours, or for example every 5 hours or 8 hours. And also they increased capacity of every manufacturer on level 2, 3, etc., etc., etc. Because on level 2, as far I remember, it was something like 60. If I remember correctly, and now it's 100, 200 for level 3, and for level 5 it's 1000, and it's not something crazy. It's not a big amount of pieces of weight you need to spend to increase the level of your manufacturer. So if you increase your manufacturers, for example, for level 3 to level 3, you can now just visit your game every, for example, 6 or 8 hours to collect your all pieces of weight, and you will get much more pieces of weight than you got previously. So at least I've got 1200 every 3 hours, but now I visit game every 8 hours, and I get something like, for example, my manufacturers, some of them are level 3, some of them are level 5 and even 6, and I get up to 6000 from one region, and it's a really great buff because now I can visit my game whenever I want, but not on the timer when all my manufacturers are ready, when I'm ready to get my pieces of it. So it's a really big quality of life improvements. About contracts, Shipwrecked Soul added rock ambushers. We fixed a couple of unintended behaviors related to this contract. Please see details below in the bug fix section. Oh, okay. Brokered Grounds reduces number of caches required to be delivered from 3 to 1. Brokered Grounds added a new step to collect the reports from Lanitra. Moonsmoke Queen, it's ghost ship that you can find in different regions. Reduce damage and health of general one Kinkel ship. One Kinkel as the final main contract boss was far too difficult to complete as a solo contract and become a point of frustration even with the unbound support. We have reduced the damage and health since to make it more accessible. Okay. Tools of the Trade added a new low-level gatherer ship that drops Acacia near St. M. Inventory and Trade. Change the default open behavior for silver pouches and chests to open all pouches chests in the stack. Adjusted Outpost vendor store inventories to be persistent across different servers and different platforms. Added an option for players to cycle inventory while on PC shops in Outpost and Dance, allowing players to buy and sell items directly from their warehouse. Again, really nice, really awesome quality of life improvement. UI. Activity invitations will no longer be shown when players are already in existing activity. Yes, I've got much less invitations during activities. It's a really big quality of life because sometimes it really bothered me and annoyed me when I'm playing one activity and I've got another. I've got a lot of invites from another activities. It's really stopped me from. It's really annoyed. At least it's annoyed. Also, they delayed activity notifications in several menus, like set sail, interaction with settlements in PC and store, and also they added signs and feedback when approaching or spyglassing a depleted resource node. Again, really nice quality of life addition, like a lot in this patch note. Also, they prevented objective tracker from automatically closing if the player manually opened it for various activities, and added settings for hiding HUD elements, including quick action wheel widgets, interaction prompts, stamina gauge, hostility indicator, all HUD. Also, they removed the reports player button in Voyage ended screen. And about Swordle, they reduced their wind's rotation speed and frequency. A wind now rotates by 15 degrees over 10 seconds and at an interval of 180s. And it's quality of life, yes, for a lot of players, because now it's much easier to sail. You need to care less about your winds. But at least for me, it's only my personal opinion. I know that lots of you really happy with that, but for me, it's not a good change because I really like to struggle from the wind because it's a really realistic. It was a really realistic system. It's still a very realistic system, but now you can think less about winds and you can just enjoy the game more. But game just lost little bits, a very little piece of its realism. So it's much easier to play, but it's a little bit less realistic. It was really fun when you're playing, for example, PvP activity and 5 players are chasing you and you simply can't swim, can't sail fast enough because of the wind, because of the wind is blowing just in your face. It was fun, at least for me. But honestly speaking objectively, it's a quality of life improvement, of course. Also, the increased damage and firing frequency of DMC Fort towers. It's also really a fair addition because previously some DMC towers were just doing some fun amounts of damage. They're just doing nothing, especially if you are a gear score 11 or 12. I mean, if you are utilizing good gear and good armor, you just simply got nothing from enemy towers. And also they increased the loot obtained from Megafort Ulsten, also quite nice improvements. Let's just check Megafort Austin. As I remember, it's Ost Indies Fort. If I remember correctly, yes, now I can get precision drilling beads, military relics, screw mechanism, camhor, and mortar bomb crate. Okay. If you get more from this, it's a really nice addition to the game. Again, we need to check. We need to farm it for ourselves to see how much you get every of these resources. Additional updates and bug fixes. Graphics. Improved DLSS quality on NVIDIA graphics cards. Fix an issue where pest events could spawn close to cent N. Honestly, never saw this, but okay, if it happens, okay, good they fixed it. And also fix an issue where Zamaharibu could not be killed in some scenarios, and fix an issue where Kuharibu is unable to move normally if it's being attacked repeatedly. Who are they who are Kuharibu and Zamuhariba? And second guy, they are Zamaharibu. They are big animals, big crocodiles, world bosses you can find. One of them you can find if you take Lanito quest. You can find Kuharibu. He's spawning or she's spawning. I don't know who is he or she. Wait, you can find this animal somewhere here. Take quest from Lanita. It's a world boss, big crocodile, big mutant crocodile. And the second one, Zamaharibu, it's a world boss. You can take quest from Tilok Pinjara board of quest, and also you can find it's a much more tough version of Kuharibu. And about Ghost Ship, we've been talking about Ghost Ship, general Ghost Ship. You can get quests of this Ghost Ship from the Oubliette outpost, and there you only during the night you will find this ghost ship and you will fight it for really nice cosmetics and guns. It's spawning somewhere there, near Port Lechmin, near the Oubliette outpost. So another changes. Let me see where did we stop. They fixed an issue where footsteps audio was only available on the left side of headphones. Fixed an issue where ship crew would incorrectly play a line indicating that the player's cargo is full. Fixed an issue where placeholder voices could be heard when players spyglasses a Padevakan, and fix an issue where Greek fire could unintentionally trigger the weak point damage multiplier multiple times. Yes, it's a really great change because Greek fire previously it did a lot of damage, completely enormous amounts of damage, completely broken amounts of damage, and I'm glad that they fixed it. Sometimes in PvP it simply just destroys ships, especially Ghost. Greek fire, sometimes it could proc this multiplier. It was really strong, and glad it was simply a bug, and they fixed it. About contracts, they fixed an issue where players may be unable to interact with the distillery during a tight ship contract. Fixed an issue when only the players playing in a group could get stuck in a dialogue without UI when a group leader finishes a seaworthy ship contract. Fixed an issue when only the players playing in a group would be rendered unable to accept contracts. And also you can see a lot of different fixes in quests, in different, like for example, fixed an issue where players were unable to interact with Huma in the hoist, the Mizan contract, different contracts, different fixes. Again, fixes. I will not name every fix because it's simply just different addition, different fixes in some contracts, so you can just play this quest without problems. Yeah, this important fix an issue where step 3 of the contract of the Devil's Gambit has been locked from completion if a player joins a prior Fort de Louis planned after stage 4 has already been completed. Not something you could find very often, but sometimes it's really annoying if you just join in Fort de Louis planned after stage 4. It's happened sometimes, so yeah, glad they fixed it. Fix issue a player's camera could be stuck with the ship in certain conditions during the Devil's Gambit contract. Different scenarios, Moon Smoke win contract to destroy General Van Kinkin in some scenarios, players were unable to proceed. And fix the issue where Plague Breaker Captain Head were being automatically added to cargo during the past control contract in some situations. Again, a lot of fixes. Really good fixes. Controls fixed an issue your player's character and ship could move automatically when using a controller. It was a really big problem. I also did get this because I'm playing Xbox controller. I'm playing only controller mainly, and yes, sometimes it happens. Glad they fixed it. It was a really big, not a big problem, but sometimes it stopped you from just enjoying every second of this game. And also they fixed the way the player's walk modes could reset from toggle to hold after interacting with an NPC. Okay. Different graphics additions and fixes. Helm fix an issue with upgrade efficiency shipping was wrongly applying bonus additionally rather than intended multiplicative bonus on each trade route bonus. Okay, let's read this because it's quite important. This fix will significantly reduce the bonus applied to manufacturers linked by or a multiple trade routes with this upgrade. So what are the route trades? If you remember from my video about endgame, route trades, if you capture some manufacturers, route trades are these white lines, that white arrows that connect into manufacturers and increasing pieces of a generation from these two bases that are connected with the route trade. So these are the route trades. So where previously the bonus obtained from the upgrade was added on top of existing trade route bonus, like 5% trade route bonus plus 50% upgrade bonus, and as a result 55% bonus total. Now the upgrade bonus will be applied to the trade route bonus directly. 5% trade route bonus and 50% upgrade bonus in result 7.5% total bonus. Okay. So we've got less pieces of weight, but with all these additions to manufacturers, it's still quality of life update, because really big quality of life change, because now you can just simply get more in you can visit game less and get even more. You don't need to visit game all the time to get this, to get pieces of weight. Also, they fixed an issue where non-kingpin players were unable to progress past the growing ambition. Fixed an issue where empire management menu was not available for some players. Also, what else? Some bugs with empire management, some rogue ambush ships were dropping slightly less loot than intended. Okay. Again, really nice addition, because you're fighting these rogue ambush ships when you're collecting a piece of weight quite often, really often. You're fighting them almost every time, so nice addition. Different another fixes. Fix an issue where sovereigns were not being awarded from the seasonal leaderboards in some situations. Again, really important, because mainly you are farming leaderboards and collecting pieces of weight to get these sovereigns currency you are buying the best guns with. Also different materials, fixes to some materials from Helm. Again, different Helm fixes, again fixes. About items, again a lot of fixes. Fix an issue where players were unable to pick up treasure map. Okay, different other fixes. Fix an issue where players treasure map quantity would become abnormally large. Okay, fix an issue where several furniture incorrectly had a weight of 1. Okay, now we need more storage space. Okay, we definitely need more storage space in this game, because, for example, I'm playing a lot, and currently I have something like 5 slots free in my storage, in my cache, So we definitely need Ubisoft, please extend our storage. We need storage extension. Yeah, you can see I have only two slots available in my storage. So please extend our storage space. We need more storage space. It's one of the most important things currently you need to do in this game. Also, fix an issue where RAM was not correctly added to the inventory upon collecting RAM from the delivery. Other fixes are lots of really good fixes. UI fixes, a lot of UI fixes. Again, fixes about world. Fix an issue where players could be kicked from the server when transitioning from add souls to send N. Okay, being kicked is always something bad, so great they fixed it. Fix an issue where rock waves could spawn very close to lands. Never saw this, only saw rogue waves mainly in open seas, but okay, again, really nice addition. So here I can see Cutthroat Cargo Hunt. This is activity I was talking about, this PvP activity. So now I can start this activity, I can participate in this activity. Only I can join this activity only until it started, and when it starts, I simply couldn't join it again. I will show you if I will have time after we read this patch note. Also, different fixes fixed an issue where poor network icon would be shown more often than intended, fixed various gameplay exploits, various performance-related issues, performance frame rate optimization, and some changes in previous versions. They changed some things like pieces of aid can now be collected by players while they're under faction hostility, and yeah, it's a really nice addition because sometimes for example, when I'm collecting my pieces of aid, I'm just simply coming to any manufacturer and rogue ship starting or lapis ship starting to attack me, and I simply can't collect these items before these ships attacking me, and sometimes it's really annoyed me because, for example, one time to collect all pieces of aid, I spend something like 25 to 30 minutes. And for example, I'm visiting this manufacturer and rogue ships attacking me. I need to destroy rogue ships to come to get further. Then I'm coming to this manufacturer, and on my fourth manufacturer, again rogue ships starting to attack me, and it's really annoyed a lot. Because I simply couldn't play the game. I just, for example, I want to collect my pieces of aid and to do my quest, to continue doing quests or contracts or capture other manufacturers, but I simply need to fight these ships. Only upside of this the only good upside of this rogue ship rivalry is these ships rewarding you with a lot of loot, with a lot of silver, so it's quite nice to fight them, but their frequency was really high, and it's sometimes really annoying, especially if you want to just simply jump into the game, collect all your pieces of aid, and just leave the game. Another change is scale difficulty of rogue ambush ships by spawning higher ship ranks if players carry a high amount of pieces of aid. Okay. You simply can run out of them, but the higher rank the ships, the better rewards, so I really suggest you destroy them if you have time. They rewarding you with a really nice amount of rewards, silver, different resources, and even with treasure maps. And also different fixes in previous server maintenance. They fix an issue where players were sometimes unable to proceed in different quests, like a coward initiation and noise for business. We fix an issue where players were unable to proceed in under storm contract if they already had their required equipment equipped before reaching a specific step in contract. Fix an issue where players were unable to retrieve loot after hunting any wildlife at sea. Fix an issue where helm wagers would targets and Otilok Pinjara. Yes, it was fixed in 2 patches ago, if I remember correctly, 2 patches before. And also they fixed an issue where rogue and lapest ambushers were more aggressive than intended. Yeah, they were really aggressive. Fixed an issue where the death mark notification was being broadcasted to other players in the server. Yes, it was very often I got this death mark when I didn't do anything to trigger it. So yeah, it was fixed 2 patches before. And also fix an issue where players didn't receive infamy rewards in the mail. Affected players should receive the appropriate mail items in the inventory after the patch. And fix an issue where players could get kicked from the server after performing inventory action. We've been reading about this several paragraphs higher, and fixed an issue about the chest could sometimes not be opened. So in general, about this patch note, it's a really great patch note with a lot of quality of life updates. They changed a lot of things. They made a lot of quality of life improvements. If you want to play, if you thinking to play Skull&Bones or not currently, definitely play, because it's a really fun game with interesting story. If you are reading all the lore in this game, all the books in this game, you get really interesting story, really interesting lore. And again, about endgame, endgame is much more fun currently. So you can see about Katsroga Hunt. I was talking about this. You can see that activity already started, and I simply can't join it anymore. So during the activity, I already can't join it, only on the preparation phase. So now I will not disturb other player who is, for example, sailing on this on this trip. I will not fast travel to this player and just surprise him with shooting him when he do not expect it. So it's a really big quality of life. So a lot of changes. Now you can play all PvP activities are more friendly to all players. Now you have a lot of alternatives to all activities. You can either play PvP or PvE and get all the loot you needed, and everything is changed for you to have much more fun in this game. Now you do not need to visit the game every 2 hours to collect all your pieces of weight. You can just simply fund them and visit the game every 7 or 8 hours to collect all your pieces of weight, and you get even more because of the increasing of manufacturer's capacity. So a lot of different quality of life updates with a lot of bugs fixed. It was a good game before, and if you are playing endgame, if you're trying the endgame, if you tried the endgame, you would see that there are lots of really nice stuff in this game, and now the stuff even got better. It's game about endgame and lore, so just enjoy its lore, enjoy its endgame, and you will get a lot of enjoyment playing Skull&Bones. So guys, if you want more videos like this, if you like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to this channel, and check our builds, check our different guides on the channel, even Skull&Bones guides and builds. And if you want more videos like this, again, don't forget to like and to subscribe and see other videos on this channel, and I'll see you in the next video. See you in the Indian Ocean. Goodbye.